everybody. Welcome. My name is Samantha. I am a sugar and spice enjoyer this nice, and I'm an independent consultant with Paparazzi Accessories. Today, we are going to talk about the importance of your why, the importance of your story. Why is it so important for us to let other people know our stories? Why is it so important for us to let our customers and our friends and our family know our why? Why are we in the business? Why did we start the business? Why do we keep going in the business? Why is this important? For me, I feel that it is very important because people are going to relate to that. We have an opportunity that is here that has changed my life. It has changed my life 100%. And I can't wait to see how much more it changes my life and where this business takes me. But if we don't share that, nobody's going to know. As we're trying to build our teams, as other people are out there looking, as our family and our friends and our loved ones and even strangers are looking to change their life, how are they going to know that they have this opportunity if we don't share it? Okay, so we all have different stories. We all have different journeys. I started because I was going through a transition. If you've watched any of my videos, you've heard my why, but I'm going to share a little bit of it with you today. I was going through a transition. I was a single mom. I was working 80 hours a week. I never took care of myself. I always put everybody in front of me. Ex-husbands, my children, my grandchildren, my parents, my family, everything went before me. I didn't have my own makeup. I barely had my own clothes. I never bought anything for myself. I didn't take care of myself. I didn't think that I deserved it. I didn't think that I was worth it. I felt like it was selfish of me if I took care of anybody else. I didn't know who I was. I was a mom. I was a grandmother. I was a home health aide. I was a daughter. I was a Christian. I was, but I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what my purpose was. So one day I woke up and it was the day after Christmas, and my daughter and I went for day after Christmas sales, and I'm standing at Walmart in front of the makeup, and it was as if God himself got a hold of me right then and there and said, "You're just as important as everybody else. It's time for you." So I looked at my daughter and I said, effective immediately, we no longer share makeup. We no longer share anything. You go and get your makeup and brushes. I'll go get my makeup and brushes. Matter of fact, what we have at home, we're putting in the trash and we're just starting all over. And don't you dare touch my stuff because it is mine. And she looked at me and said, it's about time. So after that, I started buying myself some clothes. COVID happened. And, my hours bumped up. Like at the time I was working 40 or 50 hours. When COVID happened, I was a home health aide. My hours bumped up to where I was working 80 hours a week. So I was like, okay, I got a little bit of money. I started buying clothes. I had my makeup. I wanted to buy some jewelry. And I'm very sensitive to jewelry. Even real stuff, it hurts my ears. I put it in and within an hour, my ears are burning, they hurt, they swell out. And then, for a week later, it just, I can't. But I wanted to look I wanted to look like the people on the news. I wanted to be able to put on my new clothes and have accessories to go with them. I wanted it so bad. So I was buying jewelry from, another company, and I was paying outrageous prices even with it being on clearance, and it was still hurting my ears. So my cousin told me about, paparazzi. I had never heard of paparazzi before. I didn't know nothing about paparazzi. As far as I knew, paparazzi were just people that, stalked you and hounded you and took pictures of you. So she told me all about paparazzi, and then she told me about a friend of hers that was selling it. She showed me a clip of her live, and I was like, oh, that looks like fun. So the next day I went home and I, decided I friended her because I wanted to see what it was about. I watched her on her live. Her and her daughter were having a blast. And, she was talking about it being lead and nickel free and how it's really good for people with sensitive ears and sensitive skin. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just what I need. And it was $5. I'm like, yes. So if you know my story, if you know who I am, I have never felt that I have been successful in anything, never felt that I could do anything. So I'm watching this lady, and she's selling stuff, and the necklace that was on her neck was just like so beautiful to me. It's a Blockbuster. I wish I had it right here next to me so I could show you guys, because I don't even know the name of it. But it's the Blockbuster. It's the one with the circles in it, and it's got like the silvery gray stones in it. And she's wearing it, and I'm just staring at that, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I want that so bad. And out of nowhere, she just says, oh, by the way, the necklace I'm wearing, it's up for grabs too. And look at the earrings that come with it. And I was just like, I want it. I want it. And I went to bed that night, and I thought, if I just bought a necklace off of her neck, I wonder if I could sell a necklace off my neck. And I started praying about it. I started thinking about it, and I couldn't get it out of my mind. And so I talked to my daughters, and I'm like, you know what? I know I'm not going to be successful at this. I know I'm not going to be able to make like this huge business out of this or anything. But why don't we just do it and have some fun? If anything, we'll get the jewelry for $2.75 instead of paying $5 for it. Because by this time, my daughters had come in, they watched the live with me, they knocked me off my bed, they took over, started ordering, and like they were having a blast. So I'm like, why don't we do this together? We can have some fun, you know, break up the monotony of COVID, give me something to do other than working, and just kind of like help us bond together, right? And we can get a discount, all the jewelry we want for $2.75. Whoop, whoop. That's why I started. So I prayed about it. And I was like, and honestly, like I felt an urgency in my gut, even though it was just for fun. I felt an urgency in my gut, you know. And I personally borrowed. I had half of the money I needed for the $499 kit, and I borrowed the rest of it from my son. And I ordered it, and I got my kit, and I got my first shipment of jewelry from my sponsor on the same day. So I hadn't even tried the jewelry on yet, girls and guys, before I got my kit. Okay, so why am I telling you this? My story is relatable to somebody. There's somebody out there today that feels like they're not worthy, that feels like they've lost themselves, that feels like I have never been successful at anything and I never can be. Maybe they have the health problems that I have. Part of my reasoning, once I started paparazzi, part of my reason that I took off with the business and worked my butt off to get to where I am today is because my health was declining and I cannot work outside the home anymore. As I sit here talking to you guys right now, my hip is killing me. I couldn't do the home health anymore. I couldn't help people get in and out of bed anymore. I could barely take care of myself. I have a hard enough time walking for me, let alone taking care of somebody else. So maybe there's somebody else out there who's like, you know, I have no choice but to work because I can't get disability, but I'm in so much pain I can't work anymore. What am I going to do? My story is relatable to somebody else. Somebody else who hears my story and knows that, you know, I didn't feel like I had purpose, but now sees that I have purpose. Who knows that, you know, I thought I was going to be a burden to my kids and I wasn't going to be able to work and my kids were going to have to take care of me. And now I'm able to take care of all of my bills on my own and work full time from paparazzi at home doing paparazzi and was able to quit my job. That gives them hope. When I tell people, you know, when they see that I was a person who had so little confidence in myself and they see me now going live every day and training a team and doing YouTube channels and all of this other stuff, that gives them hope. Your story gives them hope. Trent Kirby calls us dealers of hope. Your story, your why, may be just what somebody else needs to encourage them enough to take the opportunity, to take that chance on themselves, to take a chance on paparazzi and change their lives. But if you keep your story to yourself, you're not going to help anybody. You're not going to deal hope out to anybody. There are going to be people out there that need this opportunity that are not going to be able to get it if you don't share your story, if you don't share your why, and you don't share how paparazzi has changed your life. The girls that I have on my team, they've seen the differences in my life. They've seen that some of them have known me forever, and they've seen the changes that have happened in me. And they said, whoa, I want in on that. Why? Because I shared my story. Some of them knew my story even without me having to share it. But there are others that are on my team that didn't know me. But they started watching me. They heard my Q&A. They heard me tell my story. They kept watching me. They kept seeing that I was climbing more. I was becoming more and more successful. And they said, I want in on that. Your story is so important. Your why is so important. And don't make anything up. Be you. You don't have to, make up this big fabricated story, a woe is me story, and I came out of the gutter and I went to here and there. I'm not saying, if that's your story, then tell it. But your story may just simply be, I was bored. Do you know how many people out there are bored? Do you know how many moms out there are losing their minds because they're homeschooling their kids all day long? Your story may simply just be, I wanted the discount. Do you know how many customers out there can get almost double the amount of what they're buying now if they just signed up for the discount? Your story is important, and it's going to relate to somebody. So don't think that because, you don't have I dealt with abuse, or, I was, abandoned or whatever. Don't think because maybe you don't have a woe is me story that your story is not important. Your story is still important. I didn't have a per se woe is me story. I had a I need to find me story. But your story is important. Your story is important. Share your successes. I don't care. When I just bought a van, and, I went from having a Ford Focus now to a full-size van. Filling up my gas tank went from $20 to $45. I posted it. Like, ooh, I got my van, but the gas prices went up. I got my paparazzi check today. Hashtag paparazzi paid for my full tank of gas. Do you know how many people that will give hope to because they don't know how they're going to put gas in their car? You want chili, and you go out and you buy chili? Take a picture of your cart. I wanted chili. Hashtag paparazzi paid for this. 6 months ago, I wouldn't have been able to do this. Let people know your successes. Let people know your story. Let people know. I mean, you don't have to be a six-figure bling boss to be considered successful. The other day I woke up, we had this huge snowstorm here in Ohio. I woke up, I had no power, I had no heat, and I had 4 hungry grandchildren sitting here at the house. I took a picture of those McDonald's bags and said, hey, when you wake up in the morning and you have no heat, you have no electricity, but everybody still wants to be fed, thank God the paparazzi allowed me to go out and buy my grandchildren breakfast. A year ago, I wouldn't have been able to do that. That gives somebody hope. I've legit had people call me after taking a picture of my cart with all my food for chili and say, I want to know more. Because people out there today, they don't know how they're feeding their kids. People out there today, they don't know how they're paying their electric bill. They don't know how they're going to buy shoes or how they're going to buy clothes. It's the little things. It doesn't have to be I paid for a vacation. It doesn't have to be I got a brand new car. It's the little things that mean the world to everybody. That gives them hope that I can put gas in my car. I can go buy my daughter a new outfit. Maybe I can put my daughter in the school that she really wants to go to. Your story, your why, your successes mean everything. So don't keep them to yourself. Let the world know it. When you met your spouse, you met your significant other, you told everybody about it. Tell everybody about paparazzi. Tell everybody about your story. Tell everybody about your why. Tell everybody why you love it. So that's my tip for the day. All right, guys. You guys have a blessed day. Go out there, tell the world. I challenge you all. Whenever you're watching this, I challenge you. Go out there and do a Q&A. Go out there and tell your story. Go out there and tell your why. Go out there and give people some hope. All right, you guys, have a blessed day. Hopefully I'll be back tomorrow. Love you.